We got a bit of breaking news to bring you, which is on the former Team Sky and British cycling team doctor, Richard Freeman. He has been found to have ordered testosterone to the National Velodrome in May 2011, knowing or believing it was to be given to an unnamed rider. Well, our sports correspondent, Martha Kellner, joins me now. Martha, pretty significant, this.
Significant. It's a bombshell finding in many ways. This was a hearing by the Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service into the fitness to practice of Dr. Richard Freeman. Now, just to give you an idea of who Richard Freeman is, he's the former medical or head of medical for both British Cycling and Team Sky. He was in that role at the time of British Cycling and what was formerly Team Sky's greatest successes, a time when Bradley Wiggins became the first British Tour de France champion in 2012, at a time when British cycling soared to the top of the cycling world. This was one of the greatest teams in British sporting history. And now they have this huge stain over their successors. And that is because Dr. Richard Freeman, just in the last few minutes, has been proven by that Medical Practitioners Tribunal Service hearing to have ordered testosterone to the National Cycling Centre in May 2011, knowing or believing that that substance was to be administered to an unnamed rider for performance-enhancing benefits. Now, this has been an incredibly protracted hearing. It's lasted over 2 years, but now we have something approaching a conclusion. And it's not the conclusion that British Cycling or what was formerly Team Sky would have wanted. It throws up huge questions for the team principals, Sir Dave Brailsford, for the organisation British Cycling, and namely it throws up the question, who was this unnamed rider that the testosterone was ordered for? We've not heard that rider mentioned at all during this Medical Practitioners Tribunal service. That it was already hugely damaging. Dr. Richard Freeman had already admitted 18 of 22 charges levelled against him. They include that he ordered that banned substance, that he treated staff without access to their medical history, multiple failures around keeping and losing records, and also that he admitted misleading investigators. And there's been some sensational testimony over the past 2 years. We heard Richard Freeman admitting that he destroyed a laptop with a hammer, he said, to avoid Indian hackers accessing the data. We heard he'd lost another laptop. But he's always denied this principal charge of ordering the testosterone, knowing or believing it was to be given to an unnamed rider. A sensational bit of testimony where he said that he'd ordered the testosterone to treat the erectile dysfunction of Shane Sutton, a man who was then the head coach of Team Sky, who went on to become the technical director of British Cycling. Shane Sutton said that wasn't true and that he had no problems with performance in that regard. But this really is the most sensational, the most damaging twist and turn yet in this saga of British Cycling and Team Sky. And it's certainly not the end. It throws up plenty of questions. Also, next week, we'll find what Dr. Richard Freeman's punishment will be for this, whether he'll be struck off by the General Medical Council. There are also 2 UK anti-doping charges levelled against him. It's not something that's going away quickly for either British Cycling or the organisation that was formerly Team Sky.
All right, Martha, thanks for that.